Well, Europe has waited a long time for a Halo Championship Series event to land on our soil, and now is the opportunity for the European fans to be a part of one of the biggest series in all of Halo. You have Optic Gaming on one side of the stage, and you have FaZe Clan on the other. And I gotta tell you, there's a lot to talk about with these two teams.
That's right, it's been 6 years since the last major Halo event on UK or European soil, and here we are now back in London, and two of the biggest teams in the world going up against one another. Undoubtedly, many fans in the room seeing Optic and or FaZe for the very first time after decades of watching these two go up against each other across multiple titles. And game number one between these two will be CTF Forbidden. It's Optic versus FaZe.
And so much to talk about, right? FaZe kind of under-talked about coming into this event, maybe a little bit under-hyped for what this team can achieve. Just remember, everyone, these are the Halo World Champions that we're talking about. On the other side of the stage, the team who made that change, who got to the grand final at the first major of the year. This is the two teams who are steeped in history. They don't want to lose to the other. They want to come out victors, and we're going to start off with a man who people know better than most. It's, of course, your man Formal.
That's right, make some noise, London. We are underway with El Clasico. It's Optic Gaming versus FaZe Clan. And let's not forget, in Arlington, FaZe Clan was eliminated by just one team. They lost to Optic Gaming twice. Both of those were 3-0. This is their chance at redemption.
3-0 in scoreline, but extremely close games, each and every one of them. But off the rip here, a little bit of an advantage immediately going over to the side of FaZe.
Oh!
Good evening, Frosty. An overkill off the rip in game one.
An unbelievable start. We may have never even seen that at all on Forbidden CTF on the main stage. What a start here for FaZe Clan.
A great start, but you can see nothing really comes off the back of it. It seems like Optic managed to get a few trades themselves, managed to get back on the map, and Deadzone's found himself a snipe to play with as well. Unfortunately for him, it looks like the ammo has disappeared before he can do some real damage, as now we see a 2v2 on the map. Renegade should be able to deal with him.
Ooh, nice little work. He manages to stay on as well. A very nice ledge there. And maybe, almost hits the full Dipsy Doodle. Renegade's grenade at the end takes him down.
Renegade with that kill. It looks like he's trying to pressure the snipe side here of the Optic base. 2 players for him to deal with. Has the sidekick if anyone tries to get too close, and he can hit the old pop, pop, pop. Get those shields dropping. Royal 2 elsewhere, managing to find a kill himself. And Renegade's just trying to buy time, just trying to allow the rest of FaZe Clan to do work on the other side of the map while he distracts the rest of Optic.
See what Frosty can do. Only one shot left. Does not connect in the end. We'll have to opt for the bandit here.
Flag is moving though. You can see the FaZe are kind of walking this one back. They've got it back to their hut now, and SnakeBite is trying to be a little bit sneaky with this one. Knows they need another kill, and Frosty, well, there's a snake in the grass, and he's waiting for his opportunity to strike behind the respawners coming in from Optic.
Could be a tough 1v2, potentially 1v3 in just a second. He does get taken down. Really good job by Optic to make sure they don't forfeit any kills there in the end. However, it will be a 3-for-2 trade for just a moment.
Overshield coming up as well. Formal is on it. Royal 2's trying to win the fight, but Formal will take him down. Overshield is still down, but in the meantime, Lucid can't stop this flag. And FaZe, who we questioned about their ability to be consistent in making the right decisions when running that flag back, especially after what we saw in Arlington, they made all the right decisions this time.
And they get the overshield as well. You talked there, Mark, about how SnakeBite was delaying the run. He's going to hold it there. They're going to wait to see the battle stop mid. In the end, they get the overshield and the flag as well. FaZe Clan will lead 1-0.
So Optic on the back foot in our game number one. A little bit of step jump coming in from Lucid. As Frosty re-challenges, and it will cost him his life this time. FaZe find themselves 2 dead. Optic with a little bit of top mid control.
FaZe looking so good off the opening. Of course, let's not forget it was also a Frosty overkill to start things. How fitting that he's also 7-3 this early on with one flag in. It's a good opportunity to get to an early listening with FaZe Clan.
No, he's our back Brad.
Holy fuck!
Nice.
Oh my god!
I'm here, Brad. You're good, Brad. You're good.
Wait, I see the flag.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix it.
Someone watch across.
Try and get to him. I'm gonna fix it.
One's their elbow. Oh, wing. I said OE.
Hey, watch out, team.
Yo, their flag side's on.
To their head.
He's their hut.
Everyone? Almost on your corner right here. The back flag, one shot.
Nice, John.
Good team.
One to hut. Yeah, PJ.
Yeah, the back flag, Tommy.
The snipe's down there, PJ.
Yo, OV and 30 guys, so think about OS.
Yeah, he's on the play.
Nice. Someone hit left.
Yeah, I'm gonna left.
OV and 20, OV and 20.
We can get all this.
I'll push him out. One hit Lucid.
Yo, their core.
Nice, Matthew, OV and 15 guys.
They're from their core and their flag.
Alright, Yo, routes
Port
for
is
Obi.
going
Routes
main
for
ramp. Port is
Obi
going
and
main
10.
ramp. He's there.
The man, the man with the when it throw out, when it throw out.
He's there. Plat. We can
Obi and 5.
They play. Our street in their
Out to the
hut.
street, out to
Guys,
the
look
street.
at OS.
I'm looking over you.
Yeah.
There's kill the guy.
John, one's next to you, one's at the pistol.
Obi's up now, guys.
Yeah, one shot the red. One shot the red tunnel.
Yeah,
Sending
they're
you
probably
AV. He's
gonna
their top
send
right
One
tunnel.
flag, one flag.
Yeah, they're holding for the OB. Yo, he's going for it from their plat. Their plat. They're gonna get it. They're gonna
They
get
got it,
it. Yeah. It's 2 damage. It's 2 damage.
Yeah, to our street,
Are you? Hitting our street.
I'm knocking there, all one hit, bro. I took his also. He's in our play, He's going our flag right now. Jumping our flag.
One shot flag.
Don't be afraid of the tunnel, guys. Don't be afraid of the tunnel.
Will Optic get that overshield now? Of the listening, they might have an opportunity to push forward onto the FaZe base and get that flag moving. It's going to be 2 dead momentarily. Frosty just off spawn is trying to get the damage onto the flag to stop this run, but Optic have got this one moving.
Tries to get through as well, tries to go main ramp. Not going to be easy. You can tell he got the nade damage he needed, but no cleanups here. The crowd already loves to see this run coming in for Optic, and that flag has crossed the mid-map.
Lucid wins the 1v1 as well against Renegade. That means FaZe are going to be 2 down, and that flag is going to be moving home. This should be the tying flag coming in. It's 1-1, and Optic are back into this game.
And it feels like this room's a little bit louder for the Optic side, and as we said, many Optic fans across the pond here in the UK excited to see these guys on the main stage. We are all tied up at 1 flag apiece with 6:44 left on the clock.
Lucid's hunting as well. He wants Royal 2 to add to his collection. He gets it and stays alive as well. So Lucid having a pretty good start to this game himself. 8-5 at this point in the game, as the flag is now once again moving from the FaZe base back towards the Optic one. Look at this damage that's coming in from Lucid.
They will need kills here, though. Let's not forget, it's 8 up on the map right now, and this is going to be the FaZe push. This flag's going quick, though. Look how far Deadzone already is. He might try to go. We'll see what the angles are.
Well, Frosty fell off the map, so he's not going to be able to stop this, and no one else from FaZe is going to be able to stop it as well, as Optic will go up 2-1. Their second flag will go home.
Wow, back-to-back caps coming in for them, so well executed just moments ago. It was 1-0 in favor of FaZe, but really well done there by the entire side of Optic Gaming to get not 1, but 2 flag caps on the board in just about 2 minutes of play. And the Green Wall chant begins.
Doesn't matter where you are in the world, there's always a Green Wall army ready to start the chance and get behind their boys. Renegade with the overshield, though, might be the difference maker here for FaZe. He's going to be trapped, though, and he might be baited in. He's trying to play his life, trying to do so much, and by doing so, has allowed the space for FaZe to tie the game up. It's 2-2, and it's next flag wins.
Second time we've seen FaZe with map control that allowed them both the overshield and the flag. They seem to be playing so well around the both of them together.
And look at the pressure. They still are inside of the base here. They're still putting pressure onto Optic respawners, and Optic have to be so careful.
Oh, you saw it.
And that is such an important kill to deal with Renegade inside of their base. Vital for their success.
Really big. Guess what? Formal gets the second kill as well. Formal with a big single-handed effort from that sneaky spot. You probably, nice little avoiding the splash damage there. Maybe going to get one more as well. And you can tell if Formal had not been in that corner, you just saw him in the corner of the observer view, that outline. If he hadn't been there, there's probably a FaZe flag running, and it's probably pretty far across the map.
Yeah, those are the small margins we're talking about, right? When we have these two teams on our main stage, every single decision, every fight has a consequence. It's going to be Lucid who picks up the beatdown, no trade again, and by keeping himself alive once more, now has the snipe to play with to try and find some heads of FaZe Clan members.
And just about 3 minutes ago, even less than that, maybe 2.5 minutes ago, it was a 1-0 game in favor of FaZe. How quickly things have been amped and ramped up here. Now 2-2, next flag will win.
Pressure. Here comes the pressure, though. Look at Lucid. He's getting flooded, and why? Because everybody else has fallen,
Here he
and
goes.
SnakeBite has that flag moving. Lucid's still in the death screen. Everybody else from Optic has just come off the respawn as well, so unless Deadzone and Formal can get in a position to stop this flag, then this might be the game. Formal sneaks through, though. He gets that flag away.
There was a gasp there in the audience. They thought SnakeBite fumbled the flag. No, he knew exactly what he was doing. He was really going to stop on the flag. Both flags are out.
Overshield's coming up as well. Top middle. Keep your eyes on that. Optic look like they might be in position to stop this one. Both flags are away, and both flags, by the looks of things, are about to be sent home. Frosty gets the overshield, though, and now, all of a sudden, no touch came in, and FaZe might win this one. Royal 2's going to force it! And FaZe will win game game number 1, 3-2.
Wow, down to the wire. You saw Renegade able to jump on the return. And how about the play from SnakeBite? There was an audible gasp in the room here in London. They thought that SnakeBite had fumbled the flag on the way up the back rat ramp. That was not the case. He knew the flag was being pulled, and had he not taken the immediate angle from the flag stand to stop the formal flag run, that flag would have gone as well. We would have been in a flag standoff. Brilliant plays from FaZe to close it out in the end.
We talked about communication, decision-making, objective efficiency for FaZe, right? Take yourself back to probably one of the most talked about plays from the last event that summarized how we felt the event went for FaZe. It was that Royal 2 run where there was a little bit of miscommunication. Do we run it in? Clutch was talking about it on the desk where there was opportunities to score and they didn't take it. The decision-making in that final run is what won them that game. It was superb decision-making from all of FaZe.
Really, so well done, so well timed, and I'm so impressed. Let's not forget, not even each time. I think all 3 flags, there was an overshield popping as well as the flag moving, and it just feels like FaZe is able to manage so much on the map at once to make sure that they not only come away with the flag cap, but also the overshield for the next push as well. As a result of that last flag, FaZe will go up 1-0 in the series.
If you're looking at players who had a standout game before we head into game number 2 as well, Renegade 18 and 14 for him, leading the lobby in kills. The next closest to him on the Optic side, 11 for both Formal and TriPPPeY. So Renegade, we know he's a big series player. Well, that's a great start to this one.
And how about almost all of his positive stats come from a late game triple kill moments before that flag goes in. Unbelievable. We can even see just about exactly how far that was. It was less than 20 seconds prior to the flag going in. He records a triple kill. That's essentially what puts him at 18 and 14. And of course, it also puts the last flag in as well.
Well, let's talk about game number 2 then. FaZe up by 1 in this winners semi-final. Slayer is going to be the game type. Streets is going to be the map, and the conversation around Slayer has been consistent from everybody coming into this tournament, and even in this tournament up until this point. We said that, you know, FaZe historically, the big series they've won the Slayers. Even if they had to leave it to a game 5, they win the Slayers. But we've also seen from some of the stats we saw on the desk beforehand, they've been in a little bit of a Slayer rut, which is somewhat unsurprising. If they can get out of this against Optic, though, who have been on the opposite side of that superb, it's a huge opportunity for them now.
It really will be. And Slayer's been such a big topic, not only through the entire weekend, but really through all of Halo Infinite. We talked about Optic Gaming Slayers in Arlington as well. Let's not forget, had they won a few Slayers, even just 1 or 2 more games, let alone the games that they did win against SSG, they could have walked away as tournament champions. They've had a lot of time to work on the Slayers. This will be their biggest test since that event here on the main stage in game number 2.
And I think both of these teams, as much as they would not like to say, yeah, that's the case, they would have seen what happened in the previous series against Shopify and SSG. And for both these teams, seeing them fall down to that elimination side SSG probably just filled them with a little bit of hope. It's like, well, this could be a little bit more of a comfortable run than maybe what we thought. And I'm saying that with all due respect to Shopify Rebellion, right? Because we've seen some of the incredible series that SSG have had with both Optic and FaZe and how they've gone back and forth. And on the other side of things, Shopify Rebellion, they haven't shown that consistency. But, you know, keeping that in mind, I think FaZe are locked into this series. They look like they really want to come out of this hole.
They really do, and that man on your screen, of course, Royal One, making sure that everything's managed on the map properly. Huge shout out to him for the management of the overshield, the flag runs, of course, making sure everything's on the same page. SnakeBite, who was just on screen prior, not only did he get that last cap and the flag stop, it must be noted, SnakeBite had a killing spree prior to the pull, then gets the flag stop, then ensures the last flag goes in. Time and time again, if SnakeBite is making god-tier plays like that, they seem to win games, and he seems to be up to his usual tricks.
Speaking of god-tier plays, one we haven't even mentioned yet in the post-game, Frosty starting the series, starting the game with an overkill. And for a player like Frosty to start a game and a series, a big game and a big series against Optic, that is the perfect thing to put him in the right headspace to go forward and dominate.
It really was. And of course, you thought maybe for a moment, especially when the game got to 2-2, that it might be a different result. But it is once again late game composure that pays off for them. And
oh boy,
looks like we're also going to check in on a match here on the B stream as well. 2-2, Sentinels versus Cloud9. And based on other series you've seen this weekend, you might not have expected to see this in a game 5. It's 39-30 in favor of Sentinels.
One thing that Cloud9 is showing in the start to this HCS season, they are no joke. They will be in conversation to make it into Championship Sunday and late bracket runs because they are pushing every team they play right to the distance. However, this might look like they're going to come up a little bit short here. Sentinels up 43-31, and it's, again, thanks to that man, Precision and Falcate, the two Slayers putting up big numbers.
Yeah, big numbers. 24 kills across them, and they aren't even at the end of the game yet. You already know that's going to be probably more than the majority of the kills in the entire game recorded by those two alone.
Yeah, I think it actually did a little bit of a disservice to Boo Boo and Lethal there, who are both positive as well, so not really anything to complain about here on the Sentinel side of things. They're just 5 kills away from securing their place in the next round as well. Of course, this is going to be an elimination bracket game, so Cloud9, if they can't claw this one back, unfortunately, that'll be the end of the road for them in London.
That's right, we're going to wait for this, of course, next match on the main stage to start, but we'll stay with this for the last 5 if we can, just to see how this one closes out. And it looks like, as you say, maybe just the last few kills for Sentinels to record.
Lethal's going to get one of those kills that you talk about. Suspect trades it out, but as long as they trade in these situations, Sentinels will be comfortable in moving forward in the bracket. It would have to take somewhat of a catastrophic... I was going to say something that I can't say on broadcast, but it's going to be bad if it happens. Boo Boo gets another one. TriPPPeY takes some damage. Falcate's almost there to get that trade. He's desperately looking forward, but also a little bit of respect being shown here by Sentinels. I think understandably so. This has been a tight series between the two. They don't want to throw this away.
They really, really don't here. 3 kills to go. And as we said, Falcate and Precision already clocking 25 of them. Lethal also joins the 12-kill club. He's 12 and 8.
TriPPPeY gets one, just to make this a little bit more squeaky than it was a few moments ago. And it's funny when you get to these situations in games, it's like, hey, we only need 3 to win. Surely this is just a case of closing out, and then a couple slip through.
Yep.
Maybe you lose a power-up. Trust me, it gets a little bit funny.
It gets dicey. Also worth noting here, the winner of this series will play the loser of our main stage series ongoing. So either FaZe or Optic, depending on how the series goes, will match up against the winner of this one, which right now, as we said, statistically really should be Sentinels in just a few moments.
Well, Lethal finds one, Precision finds another. It's 1 kill to go now, and even though Cloud9 do manage to pick up 3 kills and put themselves within 11, it's just 1 to go here, and Precision, as you can see on your screen, he's got the camouflage. Don't want to get too loud, too proud about this, just in case somebody's listening in, but Precision has the game in his hands.
He does, and how fitting. The newcomer, the new addition, might go ahead and walk in right now. Here comes the push.
Falcate says, I'll go first, you clean it up, but they can't quite do it! TriPPPeY gets 2, and the spike won't get the job done, but Lethal's experience certainly will. 50-41 is the final score in that series, and Sentinels will keep their run going.
Up against the wall yet again. It feels like Sentinels is one of those teams that is always going to be in a Game 5 Slayer. Doesn't matter the tournament, doesn't matter the roster, they are going to be there as we now resume on our main stage. Of course, Sentinels will be playing, as we said, the loser of this matchup, but we are most importantly focusing on who's going to take the win in this series here. If you're just joining us, welcome. It's El Clasico. Optic versus FaZe, a story as old as time, now taking place here in London, England, and now FaZe up 1-0 on a down to the wire 3-2 CTF Forbidden win. We now go to game number 2, Slayer on Streets.
Keep your eyes on who controls that red gun, because it is so deadly in the hands of these players. It's so good for just locking down one lane of the map and getting you that opening pick in a 4v4. If you can lock that down early, then you have a pretty good opportunity of being able to double up and go for that camo off the respawn as well. But game number 2 is live here. FaZe find themselves up by 1. Optic got some questions to answer.
They do. They need to answer back. And one thing that must be said, this is FaZe's first time taking down Optic on LAN this year in a game. As we said earlier, 3-0 in both series in Arlington. FaZe Clan dropping to Optic. However, it's already a different story so far. They've taken game number 1.
3 dead. 4 FaZe. Lucid trying to put damage down onto the respawners who are going to be in and around the tram area, and with that camo coming up as well, being stuck on respawn, not the best of places to be. Renegade opening a little bit of space though, and Frosty going to be challenging onto Lucid as well. He wants that kill, he wants that bulldog, and he wants to lock down that camo for FaZe.
Just like that, tied 4-4, camo now up. We'll see what they can do. Minor man advantage for just a second. They will also get the next pick as well. Now 2 dead. It was a momentary 3 dead. Should be a camo grab here for FaZe.
Yeah, really good control of the map there for FaZe. It's 4 dead for Optic, and
wow.
SnakeBite, he gets the camo off the back of it as well. But the way that they swarmed, they pushed ahead of SnakeBite, allowed him to pick up that camo uncontested. So fantastic timing on the push from FaZe. It made SnakeBite's life so easy picking up that camo.
Really impressed once again. This is not the first time we've seen it. We saw it all game. They also get 4 dead at the exact timing of the camo pop, and it just feels like FaZe is doing so well with game power-up and weapon management, and now info management as well.
Optic trying to burn this camo, trying to get some time off the clock and make SnakeBite make the play, and it's exactly what they've managed to do here. A little bit of damage is going to come in, but here comes Frosty. He flies in and manages to get a trade, but with everybody else, you can see just stuck together at the moment from Optic. It's about timing this push for FaZe to flush them out.
Let's see, SnakeBite going to try to get this finish on formal. He should in the end. That will be 2 dead, but Boy, what a
shots.
trade. Reversal perfect. See it on screen live. Another one then coming in and great shots. That will now bring the game to 14-9. It has to be said, Optic Gaming with a pretty good counter to the camo. It took so long that the next camo's already popped, and Lucid's able to grab the second one of the game. It's still just a 4-kill game.
So an exchange of the camos. Now, can Lucid and Optic Gaming use this to get back into the game? Bulldog going to be dropped off to him as well. So
Ooh, Royal 2. Eagle Eye.
Eagle Eye? That's ridiculous.
Lucid is just getting dinged from distance. Not too happy about that. Inevitably, here comes the push.
SnakeBite will be taken down, however. Has to play his life a little bit here. Royal 2, you saw him earlier, but Lucid's coming back for more. He gets that kill, it certainly helps to contribute to it. And now you're going to see Frosty a little bit trapped here. Frosty gets taken down as well. And Optic bring themselves within 2.
Lucid going unconventional there. Camo dissipates at the exact time that he decides to pop back around. Eventually just wins it with a nade and a Bulldog as well. The green wall chant begins as they brought this game back.
Optic fans getting loud. As Optic now go into a lead. FaZe are going to find themselves 3 dead momentarily here. TriPPPeY looking for those respawns. Everybody at the moment from FaZe Clan is trapped in the tram.
19-18 here, and the green wall chant sets off Optic Gaming into a lead. Let's get into a listen in with Optic.
Yo, guys, listen. You guys should double up.
Two guys.
One shot pillars. Look that in.
Yeah, they're trying to push. One's Arcade with soccer right now.
Hear that.
Arcade's weak. And they got cuts.
Probably
Could be
push,
flower.
right?
Not pillars yet.
Laundry.
Pushing mid, they're pushing mid, guys. Pushing mid.
One shot, blue gen. Green gen. One shot, blue gen.
Go to long.
Cafe, 2 shot on me. Cafe, 2 shot. Cafe weak.
On DMR spawn. He's going green gen.
One
Green
shot,
gen.
Sitting green, you're going blue gen now to tire. He's a repulsor.
I hear that. I'm looking
Repulsor
hard.
tires.
2 shot. One shot blue. One shot blue.
Going
There's
Ivy.
2 there. There's 2 there now, guys.
Guys, I'm in.
Blue gen,
I'm
one
in,
shot.
guys.
Blue gen, 1. Still blue gen. Still blue gen.
I'm dying to shoddy.
Hello,
Looking
man.
spikes.
Yeah,
Spikes, Matt. Spikes, Matt, weak.
Yeah, turn around, Matt.
One shot,
turn
P Street. 2 shot.
Yo, guys, I'm one shot.
Two there. Both one. One shot, ATM.
You real?
Can't see that guy.
Green gen.
Dead. You should die. You should die. Dead. Yo, driveway, I think. Yo,
Tires weak. I'm looking PD, Matt.
Look at here.
PD, Matt, weak. PD, weak. One shot, PD. Nice.
Stay down, guys. Stay down.
One shot Commando.
Love.
Can't help that. Nice,
Watch
Joey.
B-roll, watch B-roll.
Watching Joey. Cuts maybe.
Yo, being touched. He's trash, guys. Trash. Commando with a repulsor.
Listen, slow down for a second. I have
So Commando, arcade.
Look at arcade.
I can push this.
I have camo, guys.
Tommy has camo.
Driveway weak. Driveway's 2 shot. Arcade. I'm watching arcade still.
Joey, watch your own back, Joey.
Ivy, sitting Ivy.
I've death cancel. One's arcade now.
Tommy,
Yeah,
you're
walking
walking
cuts.
I'm
Yeah,
walking cuts.
I'm getting Ivy weak.
Need a driveway?
I'm looking real, Joe.
Two guys here.
Driveway roll 2.
I'm walking into sub right
I'm
now.
at dead end, guys.
Zane, I'm
Driveway.
Guys, I'm 1 shot here.
Driveway, 1 shot, roll 2. Red room, in B weak, guys. In B 1 shot. In B 1 shot. In B 1 shot. Absolute arcade. Absolute 2 1 shots in B.
Matt above us.
2 1
Matt above us.
One shot absolute driveway. Close right.
You want me to?
One shot behind you, Tommy, we'll kill it.
All good.
I spawned your giant. Front sub, aping weak. Shot Ivy, dead. Watch this.
Alba comes back into the game, and I've got to say, how well did FaZe just play that situation? They have no camo. They burn it all, and they pick up all of the kills surrounding Lucid, who had that camo. By the time that the camo ran out, he was left on his own.
I couldn't agree more. It's been amazing to watch the power-up control and then the counterplay from each side. It has been a chess match between these two. You don't always get to see that kind of counterplay, but at this level, you will see really intentional counters all game from both sides. And as a result, we are still just within 1 kill. FaZe up 31-30.
So camo wasn't the difference maker. Can the Stalker Rifle provide the DPS, the damage output, to give Optic an opportunity to push? TriPPPeY, he's going to be the man with the responsibility of hitting these shots. Lucid's going to try and poke and create an opening. A stick's going to come in elsewhere, which keeps the score just 2 between the 2 teams. Royal 2 picks up a double as TriPPPeY hits the perfect. It's a 1v1 at the moment.
1v1 for just a moment, as you say, between Royal 2 and TriPPPeY, the last 2 players alive. TriPPPeY, though, the big perfect kill, brings the game back within 1.
Camo's coming up. TriPPPeY goes to tower to make sure that he can lane anyone. He's trying to get vision on it. On the FaZe side, Frosty having a little poke battle. Nobody really coming out on top of that one right now. Apart from, you could maybe argue, Frosty, because he's using that ammo up with the red gun.
Double push here coming, see stairs. TriPPPeY wisely backs down as the pressure was coming in, but camo grab could be happening soon. Formal's the first to fall in the 4v4.
The last 2 camos have gone the side of Optic Gaming. FaZe need to get one if they want to have a little bit more of a comfortable ride at closing this out. But at the moment, look at Optic. They're all trapped inside of PD.
Based on positioning, they should have that camo. We'll make sure and see if someone has it.
There it is. SnakeBite gets 2 by using that camo as well. Stays alive as well. Lucid last alive. First off, respawn maybe, and FaZe make another fantastic push. Like you said, based around the timing of that power up.
Yeah, once again, I'm seeing incredible stuff here for the entire FaZe side. Royal One obviously included in that mix because they have just been on top of these power-ups and perfect map control once again. The second you saw all these players in PD, you knew that FaZe had to have that, not just map control, but the power-up as well. And as a result of the back of those plays and an early double from SnakeBite off the rush, a killing spree is now 43 to 35 in favor of FaZe.
13 and 7, 13 and 8, unfortunately, as we read the stat line for SnakeBite leading the way here for FaZe Clan, and now they find themselves within just 6 kills of going up by 2 in this series. Optic need to find not just 1 or 2 kills here, they need to cycle these spawns, they need to control the next 30 seconds to a minute, and they certainly need to get this camo.
Don't forget, it was just 34 to 32. This is a 10 to 4 run coming in, and guess what? Half of those kills, it goes without saying, from SnakeBite after that killing spree. They now lead here by 8.
And now you're seeing Optic realize they have to value every death so much more. No more wiggle room for them to play with. Royal 2 with some good shots coming in from the window. TriPPPeY's trying to at least push the pace a little bit here, but every single FaZe Clan member who is having those shields broken, he's getting away and keeping themselves alive. And there's a trade from someone with no shields. Optic find themselves 3 dead, and the overshield isn't on the map. It's the camo that's going to be picked up by Royal 2.
Look at this play. Just going to probably look to trade here. He does trade 49 on the board, 1 to go for FaZe.
Frosty's going to get that final kill, and FaZe find themselves 2 up in the series. And that is the FaZe that we're used to seeing in Slayers. It was surgical, and the timing of those pushes around the camo, Andy, superb.
And what did everyone say? If there's one thing that's going to fire up FaZe, it is a disappointment like they had in Arlington, and I think everyone in the scene was ready for this team to come back, to fly to London with a completely different game plan and a completely different outlook at this tournament. They win Game 2 Slayer by 10 kills, and as you said, it is unbelievably disciplined. We have seen what this team does with scrim schedules, with VOD reviews. They are relentless, they are ruthless, they are now bringing this here into the series against Optic as we take a look at some highlights.
We certainly will look at the highlights, and look at this shot, those shots coming in from SnakeBite to pick up that double kill. So many players might have thought this is a situation where I go down, but he forces you to hit the perfect shots. He makes you work so hard for every single kill, and it was a situation towards the end of the game where you felt like, when we were talking about the counter plays with the camo, you saw the idea from Optic when FaZe got it to try and just group up, not give information away, but they weren't able to kind of just last long enough, survive long enough to then push off the back of it. Whereas when we saw it from FaZe, they were able to buy so much time before Lucid could get engaged. That's where that gap just started to open. And FaZe, you have to give all of the credit for them the way they played that.
I'm so impressed. I'm not kidding. Every time we cut to them, it feels like every single thing, right? There's these big moments, the tug-of-war kind of stalemate moments where you're unsure where it's going to go. Moments later, we cut to a Frosty, a SnakeBite POV, and they have full control. They've got the power up, and they've either racked up a 4 dead or they have a flag on the board in the case of game number 1. Just so impressed. There's a lot to learn here. If you want rewatch these gameplays, if you want to get better at this game, you want to learn about the strategies across those opening 2 game types, because at times they have been perfect.
Well, speaking of players who played perfect, the one on the right was pretty much perfect in that last game. SnakeBite, a fantastic performance from him in the Slayer, but when we talk about objective, you see his face again. He's smiling because he can do it all. 2.05 KD in London on King of the Hill. That is absolutely ridiculous.
It really is, and to rack up also, as you say, 8.3 hill time a minute as well, just putting up the objective time as well. Of course, TriPPPeY with some impressive stats as well, but normally we'd be like, wow, great numbers here from TriPPPeY, but to be honest, on the right side of your screen, SnakeBite is just stealing the story with numbers like that.
Yeah, they're exceptional stats. They're stats you don't see very often. You know, going double positive when it comes to objective game types and having most of that time yourself it's very rare, it's special, it's unique, and I think you can say that about SnakeBite as a player, right? There's not many players who can do it all in the way that he does, where he leads in pretty much everything that he does.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the man just bleeds excellence, and I can only imagine the mindset of this team since Arlington. It would have been a very, very long 6 weeks since that event. As we said, there's one thing this team, we know about this team that they kind of hate more than anything would be losing. And the way that they lost, of course, they would have had a lot of time to think about 2 back-to-back 3-0 losses against the very team that they are sitting across from right now. However, as you can see, it's a different FaZe roster. They now lead 2-0. They're 1 game away from closing out the series.
Well, here we go. Game number 3 then. 1 game left for FaZe to chalk up to call the series their own. For Optic, it's the start of a very long road if they want to call this series their own. King of the Hill live fire is where we're going to find ourselves, and we're going to be focusing on who's going to hit them snipes.
Yeah, that's the question, and you got to think, Optic also going to be digging deep here. Green wall here in effect, already getting some chance going coming into game number 3, but going to be digging deep. They need to send this series the distance, but it's not going to be easy with the type of game and map management that we have seen from FaZe. We're starting things off with Lucid.
Well, here we go then. Game number 3 of the series in our winners semi-final. Optic very much on the back foot, and FaZe looking like the FaZe we talk about when they're playing some of their best Halo. Already inside of that hill is SnakeBite. No surprise to see that as he wins his first individual fight. And FaZe with tower control as well. Frosty with a sniper. This is almost the perfect start for them.
It is. Let's see what they can do. They open up with a 3-1 lead.
Oh my God.
Hits the shot on Deadzone before he can drop as well. Might even record another one. Those kills will be traded out. 3 dead at the moment for Optic Gaming. That means it's an early lead for FaZe Clan, 6-3 in terms of slays. And now Formal, though, as your last player alive for a moment, does have the camo.
Might be spotted out, though. However, Renegade has no idea where he went, and no surprise, because he's a camo player, and it's difficult to spot those. Frosty still not aware of the exact position of Formal. Deadzone's going to fly in front of him, and the sniper rifle and the camo now in the hands of Optic. They have broken the FaZe Clan hold on this hill, and even though FaZe have done the majority of the work, they haven't done it all yet.
That's right, no room for error here. Optic would need to hold throughout this entire hill. They need to make sure they are focusing on slaying advantage, also while still being close to B at the hill. This is not going to be easy. We'll see if they can do it. Here's the hold.
Look how obnoxious Frosty's being on the cuts there, using those pillars, just shoulder peeking, jiggle peeking, to try and make Formal use some of that ammo to make it as difficult as possible for him to hit the shots. But he doesn't need to hit too many right now because Frosty is last alive. The rest of Optic Gaming have taken care of FaZe, and look at that hill time. Look at that hill time.
They've done it once. Can they do it again? Take a look at that bottom scoreboard. They might stop this first hill. They just need a few more slays here for a few more seconds.
2 shots left for Formal.
Here it
Will
comes.
2's going to peek. He's going to get away with it, but elsewhere, trades coming in. Renegade flanking on the pillars, trying to break this hold. Formal trying to play his life right now, but look at the hill. Lucid's still inside of it. FaZe going to contest it. It's a hot contest coming in from FaZe at just the last second.
This is getting dicey here. If Lucid can hold, no, FaZe holds. Right now, FaZe might get the steal right now. We'll see if they can fly
it, but they get in the hill, and look at Formal go. He's trying to push them out. He's trying to force FaZe to make the play, but it's SnakeBite once again, who is the coldest man in the venue, who makes the play to turn the first hill over to FaZe.
How many times do we see it time and time again? FaZe knows exactly how many seconds they have for a perfect push to steal it out from underneath Optic Gaming. There was 3 dead for FaZe. With just moments to go, they get the perfect big door push. They jump in the hill, they isolate those 1v1s, and at the very last second, the kills come in. It's Renegade and SnakeBite specifically picking up kills to register that first hill for FaZe.
Unbelievable stuff. Timing is exceptional, and now SnakeBite is continuing on this run as well. He's got Formal in front of him. Formal's no shields, but somehow survives for a little bit longer. Finally, he'll be cleared up, and look at this tower control now from SnakeBite and the rest of FaZe. They have completely flipped not only a first hill into their advantage, but they have tower control, they have camo, had camo, as TriPPPeY makes the play to shut that down.
Also must be mentioned here, Optic is outslaying 21-17, yet FaZe still steals that hill out from under them. And you have to start to also wonder for the Optic side, as Lucid's going to pick up a free kill here on Mud. You have to wonder, a moment like that when you were just about to go up 1-0 in the kind of turning point game in this series, to lose that hill again might just be a little bit of a tough blow to register. They're now outslaying by 5, but they need to get the objective points on the board here and make sure they tie this one up.
Big push coming in from FaZe on the cut side as well, and I was going to give a lot of credit actually to Optic. Even though they found themselves without control, they did manage to break the setup, and you can see they have a good amount of time once again on this second hill. But if we've learned anything from watching FaZe here in London and over the last amount of time, it's you could be close, but if you're not perfect, if you're not converting, then they still have a chance of winning those hills.
Body's trippy in the angles as well. They're going to use some teamwork to get the kills on back tower. 2 dead for just a moment for Optic. Renegade doing everything he can to stay alive and fight off this nest push.
Push going in from top middle. Renegade not going to be able to get the shots away. SnakeBite's on the flank as well. He'll take down TriPPPeY in and around that hill. We're starting to get a little bit scrappy, a little bit dicey in and around this tower hill. A 2v2 momentarily, but FaZe lose yet another member. And that's going to turn the numbers back over now to Optic. SnakeBite with yet another killing spree.
My goodness, how about that? Finally Not enough, though, in the end. Optic Gaming will tie it there. SnakeBite wins a very nice battle in the back of the base, but he knew he wasn't going to be able to stop that entire hill. So instead, wisely plays his life. However, most importantly, we are tied 1-1. Optic Gaming answers back.
They answer back, and they've rotated so well towards the garage. Look, they have control of scoreboard. They're in a small window. They have someone in and around that hill. And early hill time on this third hill is now going to the side of Optic. However, a couple of kills are going to help FaZe have a bit of space to play with now.
See what SnakeBite can do is alone at scoreboard again. Oh my goodness, almost gets another one. Not able to sneak that one out. Finally, he will be taken down now on board with Renegade here in the window. And Optic Gaming starting to get a little bit of form here. Once again, they're still outslaying, but more importantly for them, they've tied the game. They can breathe for just a moment.
I was going to say one thing that Optic have done so well the last two times we've seen the camo pick up come from FaZe is they've traded it out immediately. I don't think the camo player has even registered one kill without response. It's been an immediate trade, which has made that camo almost useless on the map. So trading it out, absolutely fine if you don't have it yourself. However, you do pick it up, you want a little bit more from it. Optic Gaming, though, they're going to want a little bit more in these next few moments because FaZe have taken 3 members down and SnakeBite is back in that hill.
He very narrowly stays alive there on that nade that was coming in, just barely stays alive near the scoreboard. Able to do so, though, and able to continue controlling. They also get the back A spawns, and now here comes the Optic push.
Big flood coming in from Optic. You see them flying over the A plat. They get 2 kills. They clean out most of Garage, and now you're going to see the sniper rifle coming up top middle, and Optic already up on the map. Look at the position here from Deadzone. He's trying to block those back tower spawns. He's going to try and force all of FaZe to spawn together at green, and if he can do exactly that, which it looks like he's done, and get away with a snipe, then Optic are going to have the info they need.
Oh, here comes a 1v1. SnakeBite's going to take that, also probably going to grab Sniper on the push in, a double kill for him.
Oh my god, SnakeBite somehow breaks through, and SnakeBite is going to register yet more kills. A triple kill for him. He's 15 and 7. And if I'm SnakeBite and I've just got a triple and get the snipe, I've got to be honest, I'm not handing it off to a teammate. That just shows the kind of player he is.
He's doing it all, and he's generous. He also dropped.
Oh,
that's why he topped the sniper.
Oh!
Renegade picked up a double, making a triple kill for Renegade. These guys are doing it all. He's finally taken down. Formal's your last player alive for Optic. Look at the board, though.
My mistake, SnakeBite. You made the right decision. FaZe back inside of that hill. And at the last second, once again, Optic so close, but FaZe showing they will not rest until the very last moment. Renegade still inside of that hill, and FaZe will cap. They will go up 2-1.
An unbelievable sequence of events there for a triple kill followed up by a double kill, and then that hill to come down to the wire as well. FaZe Clan will strike. They now lead 2-1. 2:16 left on the game clock. SnakeBite is 16 and 9 in this game.
Ridiculous numbers coming in from SnakeBite. Renegade as well, not too far behind, 16 and 12. And like you said, a couple of those came a few moments ago. You might have noticed them. Camo's going to be popping up as well, which is why you're seeing a lot of control over on the camo side for FaZe. But Renegade's repositioned to back green here as we go towards the mud hill. He has that sniper rifle, 3 shots still. And it actually looks like FaZe might give up the camo for map control.
FaZe has been criticized in the past for their objective efficiency. However, they have looked so good in this game. Renegade picks up another one, and the two teams are tied at 50 kills apiece exactly right now.
Formal hits the shots, and he had to. Deadzone comes through with a double kill himself, and Optic will break. But we've said that a few times now. With the camo, with 1 bullet, a sniper rifle, this is the opportunity for them to pick up that first kill and lock down the hill.
See if they can do it. That's the big question. They narrowly go into a kill lead as well, and a significant lead here on this hill. They're going to look to tie it.
Camo's out. Great DPS coming in this time from Deadzone on the nest. Renegade's managed to sneak up to the tower. Formal's trying to sniff him out, but Deadzone's going to go on a killing spree himself. And someone needed to do this for Optic. Someone needed to take the game by the scruff of its neck. And maybe it's going to be Deadzone as Optic tie things up at 2-2 off the back of the Deadzone killing spree.
Big stuff there. 16 kills to his name. Also tied for the most assists with 9. As you said, it's really been a DPS story during that entire hill. We'll see now what Formal can do. We're tied up 2-2. Optic Gaming with their backs against the walls. Of course, if they lose this one, they will be out of the series, doing everything they can to hang on. This hill's so important. 2 dead for each side.
SnakeBite trying to pressure the hill. Optic are inside of it at the moment, but it's a 2v2. Frosty's trying to flank, but Frosty gets taken down by Lucid. So SnakeBite smartly plays his life, recognizes there's no chance I beat 2 Optic Gaming bandit rifles in a 1-person challenge, and instead he's going to go for that flank. But TriPPPeY might have just read this.
Was ready for it. Almost fortunate the jump gets missed. Take a look at the bottom, though. Optic Gaming about to close out this hill.
What a turnaround this would be for Optic, right? If they can turn this game on its head. TriPPPeY with the body, but not enough to take him down. FaZe inside of the hill. And I've said it once in this game, and I'll say it many more times throughout this weekend. You cannot count FaZe out at any point on a hill until you lock it down. It's 3-2. Optic have turned this game around.
Unbelievable stuff. Once again, finally, Optic as they outslay. Nice no-scope as well. Bodyguard medal comes in as he just brains the opponent right next to a friendly. Now going to go ahead and reverse Santa Claus for Frosty as he pops back up. And now, just like that, all the pressure is on FaZe Clan with 1:37 left. Optic leading by 1 hill.
FaZe inside of that hill and locking it down, though. Look how much time they've already got on the board. They're halfway to tying this game up at 3-3 and sending us to a final hill. Camo's coming up as well in a few moments' time. Frosty finds another kill. Frosty sends TriPPPeY back towards a teammate to clean up, and clean up SnakeBite will. Frosty now moving down towards a teammate. Cleans up Lucid. It's 4 dead for Optic, and it's a free camo here for Frosty.
Deadzone as the last player alive almost shuts down the camo play. He will get taken down at the end. Lucid almost gets to grab it just like that. How many times do we say it? If there's a power-up popping and an objective opportunity, FaZe is going to do both. They do it again for what feels like the 6th time in this series. And now, how perfectly fitting, 3-3 on the home stretch of this game. Optic fighting for their lives. FaZe looking to close it out here and now.
Next hill wins. Simple as that. A couple of kills go in the favor of Optic, but it's a 2v2. As Royal 2 tries to move in to clean up some damage. Frosty's going to beat him to the kill, though, as Optic now find themselves 3 dead. Tower control is all FaZe's. And if there's one player you want from FaZe on this tower, probably the man on your screen.
This could be devastating. As you said, it was 3 dead. Now this is going to be quite a run here for FaZe. Optic, oh boy, Optic has to get a very good push coming up. However, Formal is the first to fall. And especially if you see another one, this could be even more time on the board. You do for FaZe Clan. It's a trade, but it's 2 dead for Optic. FaZe will continue scoring.
Optic have proven, though, in this game that they can break this tower setup. But time is a factor. Game clock is a factor. And knowing that there's only one opportunity to get things right is a factor as well. With 1 minute left on the game clock, FaZe find themselves over halfway to capping this hill, but here comes Formal, but here comes Royal 2 as well.
Royal 2 with a big kill there on the 1v1. Eventually those kills will be traded out. However, it does end up with Royal 2 getting the upper hand. 50 seconds left on the game clock. FaZe is 50% done on the hill.
Deadzone going to be dropping down. He's weak. Renegade flies in, but is he going to be able to get the kill? No, Lucid arrives at just the right time. Lucid escapes from the clutches of Frosty as well. And FaZe now find themselves with just Frosty alive. Tries to take on Deadzone here in the 1v1. Deadzone's trying to flush him out of the tower, and Deadzone will. FaZe will be broken on this hill.
Huge play from Deadzone to stay alive there on Keydor. It's unbelievable here. Let's not forget, anytime a team is in the hill, that game clock, of course, will stop. So there's a lot of time left to play here at the C Hill. Optic Gaming will now continue scoring, and the pressure is on FaZe. They will need to construct a push here.
Formal gets taken down. He had the QT, but he wasn't able to survive long enough. Renegade gets one. With that kill, Frosty gets another. It's 2 dead for Optic. And this is looking like it might be Renegade running towards the final kills before they lock down this hill.
Look at this, all tied up on the scoreboard here. These 2 teams just neck and neck here on this final hill. 2 dead for Optic. FaZe will continue scoring.
The difference on the push here is the camo is there, and I'm sure that Optic will be thinking, how do we get that? But the problem is the lanes are being locked down by a man called Renegade. It's 2 for him, a double kill for him, as FaZe lock it down. FaZe will close out the series, and FaZe will deal Optic the 3-0.
What an unbelievable back and forth between these 2 across the entire series. In the end, FaZe Clan will not only win that game 4-3, they will also outslay 85-77 after being outslayed the entire game, and they will close out the series with a final score of 3-0.
Now that is a scary, scary looking FaZe. That is a FaZe on a mission. And I would say even the way that they've just left that main stage right now, they are not done this weekend. They know that the work is not done this weekend. They want to be here in that final, winning it, and lifting a trophy. Here is a look at your series layout and how things went down.
I mean, once again, we said this is a game of margins. You're always going to see tight score lines between these 2 teams. Really the top 3, you could say top 4 now, with TriPPPeY entering the top 3 here for the first time this weekend. But my goodness, what a response from FaZe. Once again, just in case you didn't catch it earlier, Optic Gaming in their last 2 outings has 3-0'd FaZe both times in Arlington. FaZe answers back in the biggest way possible for FaZe Clan fans across the world. It will be a 3-0 result, and they will move on to your winners final.
An absolutely breathtaking performance in that final game. And again, it's such a unique kind of property that FaZe have, Andy. The ability to play until the last pixel. It's, you know, it's a term that we've got to start coining, right? Because it's not playing to the last second, it's playing to the last pixel. When it comes to those hills, when it comes to that objective, FaZe are never done. When you think you've got a little bit of comfort on the map, you think you've got the hill locked down, you've done it before you know it. Yeah, you've lost the hill when you're fighting uphill.
I mean, it's amazing. You had Formal on Nest Bridge there with Snipe, right? 3 players dead for FaZe. They had to construct the perfect push coming in from pillars, from concrete, right? From big door. And somehow in the end, they're able to do it. As you said, perfectly timed. The 2 players enter the hill at the last second, then they isolate those 1v1s. And that from that game specifically is just a perfect encapsulation of what that they can do in each game type. They did it again just now at the end of the game as well. So impressed with FaZe. Of course, as we said, though, Optic, a lot to be proud of from that series. And if we see them play each other again, the scorelines tell the story. We could see a very close series once again.
We certainly could. Well, that's enough from us for the series. The series is done and dusted with FaZe feeling good, and another player who's probably feeling pretty good at the end of it is Renegade. Blazer's got him for an interview.